What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris with game number 2 between VP and Liquid. Game number 1 was an absolute stomping, and Liquid, I'm sure, will have to have a little bit of recovery time before that, so hopefully this will help in their recovery of game number 1. And something I've noticed from VP is that their bans usually are not really just like generic, we're going to ban out the strong heroes. They're more tailored bans towards the strength of the enemy team. You can see Bulba's Clockwork being banned out, as well as Fluff's Chen. And I know VP did this very similar thing versus Alliance, where every single game they decided to not ban out the really top tier S tier heroes like Batrider, Keeper of the Light with Nyx, Sass, and Wisp. They instead decided to target Aki as well as Bulldog and ban out the Chen as well as the Lone Druid, and I kind of like that idea. I mean, you can't really just always ban out the strong heroes. You could deal with the strong heroes, but you can't really deal with strong heroes with strong players behind them. So it is going to allow for a couple more top tier heroes to get into the pool, but at the same time, VP just like really mind gaming Liquid and before Alliance as well. So I do like that coming up from VP as they pick up their first 3, KSI's Nature's Prophet, Shadow Demon, as well as Lina for NS and Arzart. So right off the bat, they're going to have a good amount of damage and stun in that lane. They just need something like a Gyrocopter, and then everything shall be good for the VP tri-lane, which they can run either defensively or aggressively. I think with the Shadow Demon Lina, you'd probably be better off running aggressively, although Team Liquid already showing their hand with the Lifestealer, Bane, and Keeper of the Light. Do you really want to run into that? That is a very, very dangerous tri-lane. Has a good amount of setup with the Bane, damage from the Keeper, and damage from the Lifestealer, and most importantly, magic immunity from the Lifestealer. I think VP would be okay with running their tri-lane against that, because they will have the Nature's Prophet, who, although he will be in the safe lane most likely, he will be just able to teleport in and turn the 3v3 into a 4v3, and that additional base damage from the Nature's Prophet, possibly a point and Sprout, might be enough to give VP a couple of kills if they do run Tri-v-Tri. Or they could just abandon ship and just play it completely safe, use the Shadow Demon and Lina just to maybe do a little bit of roaming, but mostly just protect the safe farming of whoever they are going to pick up last. They have the Nature's Prophet jungle as well, so VP gonna look for a hard carry as well as a mid lane hero, and well, why get anything else when you can get the Cancer Lancer? Storm Spirit instantly going to be the pickup in VP. Wow, I didn't expect them to blast out their picks this quickly. It's going to be OD and Phantom Lancer as their final 2. So with the final 2 picks, they get a couple of heroes that do a ton of damage in the late game. So the longer this game gets, I feel that VP, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to actually lose this game, unless Liquid want to pick up another high damage hero. But going for the Storm Spirit and possibly going for the Mag would be the best bet. Is Mag still in the pool? Yes, he is still in the pool. So I think that'll be probably the best bet for Liquid. Run their tri-lane on the bottom lane, and then run the Storm Spirit mid and run the Mag top, or maybe switch Storm Spirit and Mag around. But either way, they're going to, Liquid, have to really put on the pressure in the early stages. You can't afford to let OD, PL, and a Nature's Prophet farm. Even though Team Liquid have a Lifestealer can only do so much versus the PL, and can only do so much versus the OD as well, because even if you use the open wounds on OD, instantly he imprisons himself, and then you're sad because you wasted your best slow, and then you're probably going to be kited for the rest of that battle. So the Lifestealer is going to really need effective means of getting into that fight, and he does have the most effective means in that Storm Spirit, and Liquid going to go with that Beastmaster pickup. So they're going to go full on aggressive in the, maybe not full on aggressive, they're going to try to really put on the pressure to the VP side. But really, we saw Crazy's game with OD last time. If he runs into a Storm Spirit is going to be absolutely crippled in that lane, just because the intelligence steal is devastating, no matter who you play really, unless you're some weird hero that doesn't need his intelligence, like Huskar or something. But Storm Spirit will have his base damage reduced by so much. It's kind of going to be an enfeeble on the other end, but really like an enfeeble and then some. So most likely the mid lane from Liquid probably not going to be won unless they do some weird laning, but with Korok on the Storm Spirit, it probably is going to be that Storm Spirit mid, and Liquid with that Beastmaster pickup, they're really looking to be aggressive. They want to shut down Illidan because they don't have that much AoE. The AoE that they have is limited to the Keeper of the Light, to the axes, and to the very, very limited amount of AoE that Korok does put out. I forgot to get the Bastion announcer in the last game. I feel so sad. So the longer this game goes on for Liquid, the more hurt that they're going to receive, just because Lancer is probably going to get free farm, being played by Illidan, and we all know that Illidan can play a PL. Everyone else on the VP side, I have Arzart on the Lina, NS on the Shadow Demon, Crazy's going to be playing the OD once again, going to probably rush up the mech, and we have KSI's signature, Nature's Prophet. On the Liquid side, we see now IX Mike playing the Keeper Light instead of Fluff. TC is on the Lifestealer, Fluff is going to be playing that Bane. Bulba is going to be heading somewhere, probably mid lane actually, as the Beastmaster. I do like that decision, and Korok can be on the top lane as the Storm Spirit. So what Liquid are expecting right now is for the OD to run mid. And OD was in the mid lane last time, so I guess that is a relatively safe assumption. KSI is going to head up towards the top lane, probably. That's what Liquid wants, because they don't want, what Liquid do absolutely 100% do not want, is for Storm Spirit to run into the OD, and looks like that's going to happen. VP, they know, and Liquid, they're going to be shut down right off the bat. We might see a level 1 fight right here. Disruption is going to hit onto the Lifestealer board already. Huge damage as TC pops his rage immediately. Does Illidan have Doppelwalk? Yes, he does. Sentry Ward going to be dropped down for the Nightmare, but really there's no follow-up unless there's an Illuminate. Nightmare is going to be stolen by Arzart. He will get hit, actually, so now Arzart is one in trouble. Laelse going to hit onto 2, hold out TC. He does not have open wounds, and the salve will keep Lina safe, at least for now. And it looks like everyone from Liquid going to escape. Everyone from VP, I'm sorry, going to escape, and no one from Liquid going to find that kill. So this is going to be fairly disastrous for Liquid moving forward. Korok does have an invisibility rune, but he will not win the lane versus OD. 1v1, simply not going to happen. Korok could try to be aggressive on the OD and maybe push him back right off the bat, but already starting off with the insteal level 1 is very hefty in the mana cost, but the longer this lane goes on, the more and more Korok is going to fall behind, just because Crazy will have the base damage advantage, will have that insteal to deny Korok even the opportunity of getting those last hits. So I really do not expect Korok to get anything on this lane. Mid lane, well, we see Bulba getting roughed up quite a bit as well. Beastmaster should be able to manage versus this Nature's Prophet. But already we see Nature's Prophet taking a good edge in poking that Beastmaster out of the lane. Let's take a look at how the bottom lane is going to do, because I think Liquid a lot is going to be riding on this bottom lane. Their top lane clearly is not going to be doing too well, but if this bottom lane does well with a Nightmare setup or maybe an Open Wound setup onto someone like the Shadow Demon, then they could definitely make kills happen. And if they get a couple kills, then it could really turn the tide of the game around. Although we do see Bulba struggling quite a bit in this mid lane. Does have his bottle flying out towards him, and the axes will prevent the Nature's Prophet from getting his pushes too out of control. So I think Liquid might be able to hold on to this lane in an even fashion, but this top lane definitely not going to work. 3 for 2 versus 5 for 6, and Crazy starting to get the levels up. Once he hits level 4, then really the Storm Spirit is going to get shut down completely. That insteal going to really hurt him, and even though he does have a Null Talisman for that extra damage, I mean that's 9 damage that the Null Talisman gives. It's actually pretty absurd. If you're an int hero, 3 damage on top of the 6 intelligence, so yeah, it's a total of 9 damage. But as the level of imprisonment gets stacked up, that int steal is going to deny both that Null Talisman as well as the any intelligence growth from the Storm Spirit. So really, it's not going to go well for that Storm on that top lane. And well, mid lane Crazy still doing a good job at handling the Beastmaster mid, just having that ranged advantage versus the melee. So I think Liquid, yeah, they're going to definitely have to make things happen on this bottom lane. They definitely have the heroes to do so, and with the creeps pushing towards their base, it looks like they might be able to make that happen, although we do see a very early smoke from a good deal of the VP heroes. They're going to go to the mid lane, possibly? Maybe get a kill on Bulba? It's fairly vulnerable to an LSA setup, or I guess Shadow Demon Disruption setup. Or they could just circle around. I'm not sure if they walked over this Liquid ward, although that is their own ward. What the hell am I talking about? Illidan is going to be spotted out, and Liquid do realize that these supports are missing. They do not see Shadow Demon just yet, although he will reveal himself. Was he spotted by the ward? I don't believe he was. Lina, not going to be revealed either. So the smoke is pretty much going to do nothing. They didn't even leave the lane at all. That was kind of a weird decision by them. But either way, Liquid do have the Lifestealer farming, whereas Illidan having a little bit more trouble in finding those last hits, does not have that additional damage from the Quelling Blade. So TC is going to be getting a good amount of farm on this bottom lane, where Illidan being zoned out relatively hard, his tri-lane support not really being as active in the poking because there's other things to do. But yeah, TC is going to get a little bit of farm, but is that going to be enough? They're going to have to really translate the farm from the Life Stealer into something big. And I think if he goes for the Phase, Drums, maybe even Orb of Venom build, that would be the best item choice for him, because he could go for the Hand of Midas and try to take the VP in the late game. But I think the early mid-game item jumps in the Life Stealer would be best for Liquid to pursue right now. Just because the come late game, ODPL, doesn't really matter how farmed your Life Stealer is, you're not going to win against those heroes. Unless they get a good initiation from Korok, I guess, but we could already see Korok dropping down to 52 base damage on the Storm Spirit versus the 84. It's pretty damn hard to last hit under these conditions as Storm Spirit. Hell, as anyone with that low damage. TC, oh, very, very close to danger. Illuminate gonna fly through onto Illidan. Really just force him back. They want to keep this lane pushed out, although with that they want to cast Illuminate only to hit on the Phantom Lancer. If it hits the creep wave, so be it. But really pushing that far into the tower, not been Liquid's best interests. The hell? Oh, I thought that was a regular creep. It looked like a regular creep because purple and red kind of look the same on the minimap. But yeah, diving the tower probably would not be the best idea for Team Liquid. Although they're pushing pretty hard. They want to get this Illuminate onto Illidan, but that's about it. Fluff and Stuff gonna send out a Brain Sap as well. And now Liquid gonna wrap around, possibly look for Arzard. That's the best target they could pursue. TC going to deny the pull as well. Well done by him. Making sure that there is no creep equilibrium being checked by the VP side. And Bulba, 24 for 2, has recovered in this lane using that bottle. Level 3 on the axes, plus the level 2 inner beast. Really, the pusher has become the pushed at this point, with level 2 aura making the creep wave attack that much faster, as well as the axes, which Bulba is pretty much spamming out on this wave. Really, KSI's tower is going to be pressured just a little bit. We'll have the Wrath of Nature in order to... Oh, well, TC going to turn this around for the Shadow Demon. Instantly, the Illuminate flies through. LSA going to hit onto Axe Mike, as does the Wrath of Nature. Axe Mike on the run. Illidan should be able to take that one up, although KSI is the first one to draw blood with the... yeah, Keeper of the Light does die. TC going to man chase onto Arzard. Going to instead go for NS. The Rage going to fly through. The Dragon Slave going to fly through one more time. Rage is going to be popped, and Life Stealer going to find that kill. Going to take Spirit Lance straight after, and he's now in a little bit of trouble. Arzard is here. Fluff and Stuff as well as Bulba are here, and TC going to get Earn Charge down. Bulba has rotated in, as had, oh my god, I cannot speak, what the hell's wrong with me? As did the Nature's Prophet. My god, I don't know what's wrong with my casting right now, because I cannot cast for anything. I mean, Liquid did drop First Blood. Ix Mike getting killed, being the first one to die. Let's see who actually got that kill. It was Nature's Prophet who drew First Blood with the teleportation. Now on top lane, Korok gonna get the Eclipse dropped on him. He will barely slip out of there. Oh no, the Earn Charge will take him over. The Tango is not going to do enough for him, but yeah, you can see the burst damage coming out from Crazy after absorbing a good amount of intelligence from the Storm Spirit, then dropping that Eclipse. He's going to get another, I guess again a kill for him. KSI going to find a kill as well. So VP very, oh my god, why? I just drink water. I'm just gonna do, yeah, don't mind me, guys.
The Dire might want to mine the top tower.
I'm just here trying to speak and I can't. Oh god. So, I guess compose myself. KSI doing some very effective teleport ganks. That Nature's Prophet also hit pretty hard on the Keeper of the Light as well. Contributed a great deal to that First Blood, but now we see Ix Mike in a little bit of trouble once again. Disruption to open up, and Illidan does not have a Lance, but KSI is here with the damage. Ix Mike should die just to right clicks. He will. Lance finally being picked up. The LSA going to miss on everything because TC's Rage. Roar onto KSI, though. TC is going to drop low. Is running out of Rage as well. He's going to be forced to back on out of here. Bulba popping that Invisibility Rune. Does not have any health or have any mana or cooldowns even to make anything else happen. LSA going to be thrown just in case he was stalking. Bulba was stalking the Shadow Demon. Looks like Bulba's rotation kind of being a little bit of failure. Didn't get any kills. Didn't get any kills. They did once again lose Ix Mike. Crazy though might be in a little bit of trouble. We have Fluff and Stuff roaming around. Level 2 Nightmare won't really be enough to kill off this OD, I feel, unless they poke him down substantially. Brain Sap will be nice, but this OD is pretty damn tanky with that Chainmail. And I think OD caught wind of what was happening. Fluff and Stuff now going to be wasting his time up in this top lane because Crazy has fallen back. Gonna let Korok get a little bit more free space to farm, but 15 for 4 is definitely not where you want your Storm Spirit's farm to sit. He has hit the level 6 mark, so he could go around the map with ganking with the Ball Lightning. Could be an effective way of kind of mitigating his crappy early start if he gets a couple of early game ganks in. However, he's going to have to do it relatively shortly, or else he's not going to have the best of times in this game. TC has moved actually to the middle lane. Kind of a weird decision by him. I think he would have still gotten a lot of farm if he kept himself on that bottom lane, but now his intelligence is going to be stolen. He has a total of 3 intelligence. He has 39 max mana. He can't cast anything even if he wanted to, so yeah, Lifestealer is going to be unhappy in that situation. He's going to be forced to get on out of there. And really crazy, as long as he avoids any sort of 1v2, 1v3 situation, this OD is going to completely dominate whoever decides to join him in that lane. I feel like one more imprisonment into an Eclipse would have done more than enough to kill off the Lifestealer, and Lifestealer is going to be forced to jungle that intelligence loss off until he can recoup that mana and hopefully go back into the lane. But in the meantime, Crazy well on his way to his mech. I mean, he didn't get as many kills as last game, so he's not going to have it 10 minutes in. But still, with the Buckler already up and with the Ring of Regen and the Tranquil Boots, he will have that relatively shortly. Double Damage Rune going to push down the top lane, tier 1 of VP. In the meantime, they themselves are pushing down the bottom lane. Looks like Bulb with Double Damage Rune should be enough to take down this tower, although NS looking for the deny. Roar going to open up, and the tower will be killed by the Storm Spirit. Here comes Illidan, going to easily get a lance onto Fluff. Brain Sap will keep him alive for just a little bit more. Nightmare onto KSI, but Fluff and stuff going to drop to an Urn Charge. Bulba going to throw a couple more axes with Double Damage Rune. Wants to turn this around versus the Nature's Prophet. He will instead decide to teleport his way out. Korok, meantime, getting a double kill onto Lina as well as NS. The sniping of the supports doing very well for him. He's going to die, however, to the Urn Charge. So, in the end, it is going to be, I believe, a 2-for-2 trade. Korok making a good deal of things happen. Let's actually back that up because I saw half of that fight, but I missed the other half. Let's see what Korok actually did. Here we go. So, we see TPs coming in, and Korok, I think, instantly jumping in. Yeah, went after that roar for NS. He bursted him down with the damage. Oh, not quite, although, yes, he did. Brought Arzar dangerously low as well. Hit them both, like, constantly with the AoE. And Korok just finished off Delina that very easily as well. But I feel like this game, this item, has paid for KSI, has paid itself for KSI like time and time again. He's gotten so many kills off this item. Just like at least 3, I think, from the Urn Charge. If the Urn Charge wasn't available for KSI, he wouldn't have gotten those kills. But yeah, KSI making a lot of things happen in this game. Liquid, Korok especially, getting rid of those supports is really desperately needed for the Storm Spirit, even though he did die in the end. He needs that gold, and that gold is not going to be lost because it is all reliable gold. So Storm Spirit making a little bit of a recovery in sniping out those 2 supports, and really those 2 supports clumped up, so they're kind of asking for it. We see Lifestealer has not learned his lesson, going to return to this mid lane where his intelligence is going to be just delicious snacking for Crazy. Still farming up, almost does have that mech actually, getting dangerously close to it, so it's going to be 11-12 minute mech on him. And Liquid, they have the roar in 9 seconds, so this is probably the best time that they could look for a gank onto this OD, but I'm not sure if they have enough burst damage to bring him down before he gets an imprison off on either one of the Liquid heroes or himself. Looks like Liquid, what are they going to do? They're going to go for the mid lane. Korok is here. He could jump in on Crazy. That'll probably be their best bet right now if they just jump in, follow up with the roar and try to bring him down, although with the double disruptions from Shadow Demon as well as Imprison, it's going to be really, really difficult to bring anyone down on VP. They just have so much defense. They're instead going to run into Illidan, who's instantly going to bail on out of there, but they do have the roar and they want to use it. Every second that they waste with the roar available but not being used is kind of wasted potential from the Beastmaster. He's definitely not the best late game hero. You want to use the roar because it's one of the strongest lockdown spells in the entire game, and you want to use it as often as you can. 80-second cooldown, that should mean every 80-90 seconds you are going to be aiming for a kill. Whether or not you get that kill is, remains to be seen, of course, but you want to be at least aggressing and trying to pick up that kill in one way or another. But really, Bulba roaming around very heavily, but he's not really finding anything. And the longer this happens, it is going to favor VP. You can see the golden experience for VP, both in favor of them by a good deal. Crazy has finished his mech, going to build that one up, find his boots of speed in the jungle, and he will continue to just farm up as that OD. Not the most gold per minute in the map is actually going to be led by Illidan, who found a lot of farm roaming around into the other lanes, as well as KSI doing his Nature's Prophet thing, going to pick up a Hand of Midas after the urn, after the Null Talisman, after the belt. This might even be a Dagon for Nature's Prophet. Wouldn't be the worst choice in the world, because he knows that he doesn't have to go for damage. The OD as well as the PL are going to be doing all the damage that they really need on the team. And if you could find and isolate, burst down the likes of the Bane or the Keeper, that'll solve such a big problem for the other two heroes, especially Keeper. If you get rid of those Illuminates, then the PL is going to have that much more free time to do whatever the hell he wants. You could also try to go for Bulba, although the mech, once that does come up, it's going to make it a little bit difficult to burst him down with a Dagon, since you won't have a disable if you do go for that item. But Nature's Prophet, either way, is holding on to a lot of gold, and with that Hand of Midas, is going to be farming even faster. So Liquid right now, their early game aggression really not coming together. They want to get a couple more items up on their core heroes, it looks like, but really it's not really coming. I mean, they have a Bracer and Bracer Phase Wand on Lifestealer 12 minutes in, which isn't the worst, but they would like a little bit more. They need to get these kills because VP, they're just farming it up, and Liquid, they're really just letting VP farm it up. And they still have control of all their towers, some of them dropping a little bit weak. But as long as they don't die, I mean, there's a lot of gold that VP are not getting just yet. The thing is, VP, they don't really need to take the towers. If they're getting all the farm in the world, they're okay with just letting this be the status quo. Because Liquid aren't ganking. And if the longer Liquid aren't ganking, the more VP are getting farm. And even though they are not going to get the tower gold, that just means that the creeps are going to be forced to stay closer to the towers of the VP side, which means that the VP heroes are going to be that much safer. If they do take out the tower, then the creeps are going to be over here, and you don't really want to farm in this area. This is dangerous, even if there is no tier 1 tower to worry about. Teleportation on this top lane. Here comes KSI, going to go straight for Fluff, who is gripping NS. Will he be able to bring the Shadow Demon down? He will, but now Korok on the run. Nightmare will hold out the Nature's Prophet from getting that urn charge onto Korok, who in the meantime has picked off the Lina by himself. So, you know, Bane as well as Storm Spirit making some action happen on this top lane, as I missed most of it. Korok finding another kill, albeit barely, got out of there just by the skin of his teeth. Laguna Blade was not enough to kill off the Storm Spirit, so he does manage to get out of there. But in the meantime, Crazy can try to take down this tier 1 tower. As soon as he draws tower aggro, Bulba gonna unleash that roar. Teleportation coming as well. Where's the roar? Where's the roar? There it is. Fluff and Stuff is here as well. Has the level 4 brain sap, but that's about it. Bulba instead gonna go for the tower deny instead of going for the OD with the Axe's brain sap. Would have been enough to kill him off. I gotta say, a little bit of a questionable decision by Bulba. He did get the tower deny, which is fantastic, but he let the OD slip away. And Liquid gonna get one tower deny, going to lose another tower. So now the gold is going to start to accrue up for the VP side. Lots of gold for Illidan, lots of gold for KSI, and he's gonna go what looks like straight for the Diffusal Blade on that PL, or possibly make that into treads. Although Drum, Diffusal Blade, both of them will be good options for the PL at this point.
Illusion.
And KSI finishing up his treads, has another 800 gold in his bank, so Dagon may or may not be coming. Hope it does, because Dagon is fun, but he really does have all the options in the world for him. And Crazy is just still farming. Smoke up now, Fluff and IX Mike. They have a Fiend's Grip in 5, and they want to use it, especially with Korok, with TC inside of him. They want Crazy dead, and they should be able to take him out as well, if they could burst him down. There's the ball lightning in, gonna be pulled back, TC gonna burst forward, Fiend's Grip, not in time, the imprisonment is there, and they have a disruption as well. They will, in the end, not get him because of the disruption. We'll wait, NS is instead gonna get gripped, and Korok, I'm sorry, TC instead going to find that kill. Nightmare onto Fluff and Stuff, keeping him alive from those lances, and Liquid find 2 kills. They're gonna go for more, well, maybe not. That is, I would say, not Alina, so Bulba burning the roar unnecessarily, but hell, if you see Alina at that out of position, you kind of just gotta go for it. Those 2 kills will give Bulba enough gold to finish up his mech. He's gonna give Korok a little bit of much needed gold as well. So very effective ganking from Liquid. Exactly, that's pretty much what they needed to do. That's exactly what I was talking about. Use Korok to open up, use Bulba with the roar, although that time they didn't exactly do that. And then make sure that they shut down the enemy heroes as much as they possibly can. Now KSI can get revealed out by Korok. No teleportation here. He will try to make his way out. He should be able to. He will be able to. Nature's Prophet pretty darn tanky. And Korok already having to burn that pullback with, you know, for the first time when the Nature's Prophet tried to teleport out and out of there. But Illidan has finished his Diffusal Blade. And VP, they're going to be burning a lot of mana from the Liquid side. Not only from that Diffusal Blade, but also from the Sandy's Eclipse. I don't think anyone from Liquid actually No, so Sandy's Eclipse probably not going to burn much mana. So yeah, they're going to be taking a lot of damage regardless, which I'm sure VP are going to be completely okay with. And Liquid, they got to check their cooldowns. As soon as their cooldowns are up, they should be looking for kills pretty much every single time. If they keep getting those two-man picks like in the mid lane, they can really start to build themselves a good advantage. Experience and gold advantage for VP, not the largest. Liquid's still farming pretty decently. But just the late game heroes that VP have and how that farm is being allocated, really it's none to Arzart, none to NS, full on into Illidan, into KSI, as well as Crazy. These heroes are the key heroes that use farm a lot better than really any of the heroes on Liquid use farm. Lifestealer, I guess you could debate that, but I think late game without a mag to support that Lifestealer, he's gonna be just completely swamped in illusions, and he won't be able to kill them off within the duration of a rage, unless he goes for a Battle Fury, which I think would probably be the best choice. Battle Fury or a Maelstrom to deal with this PL, because other than ganking this PL before every fight starts, which is very, very difficult to do, you won't be able to lock him down in those fights and really clear off his illusions. Bulba gonna scout out with an Invis Rune, gonna dispel some smoke. If there's no sentries, however, so everyone from VP, they definitely know Bulba gonna spot everyone out. Where's the initiation from Korok? Gonna get the flying vision, gonna get some observer wards down. Illuminate gonna fly through. Bulba gonna send the Hawk straight into the jungle, but VP, they're completely surrounded. They're going to find and eliminate that ward. And is this going to be an initiation? They're going to throw a lance, try to scout out Bulba. They will in fact do so, but Korok still has TC inside of him, wants to jump in on this. I think it's a little bit too far away, however. Liquid have not picked up a kill, but they have successfully pushed VP out of their tier 1 tower range. They will now have the option. They're going to get Korok imprisoned. Should be fine right now, though. Going to take a couple of stacks of Shadow Poison, perhaps, but yeah, it's going to be the tier 1 tower. Liquid, even though they did not get a kill in the tower, they still did get the tower, which is going to be pretty big for them. They do need the gold. They could even keep going right now. VP know that they have a stronger late game, but if they're the ones getting pushed, and they're going to be forced to fight. So I think the more Liquid can force VP to fight in this game, the better off they will be. They do still have all their cooldowns up. They did not use a single spell, except for Invest, I guess, in order to make that happen. This is going to mean that TC is not getting a lot of farm while all this is happening. He's chilling in Korok, and if Korok doesn't get a kill or doesn't even look for kills, then TC's time is pretty much wasted right now. But Korok might be looking to get a kill after all. Going to possibly go for Arzart, but he smells him coming. Korok looking for anyone to show themselves. There's one. No. No, Liquid's just going to force the issue. They're going to keep pushing. They know that at the moment they are probably stronger. Korok going to circle around. If anyone's spotted by the Hawk, this could be the death of someone like the Lina or the Shadow Demon. Hawk going to spot everyone out, but the tower is going to drop very low. 2 points in that Inner Beast. Everyone's attacking pretty darn quickly. Korok on the front lines will take the creep aggro, and it's going to be a tier 2 tower. In the meantime, top lane, KSI, who has not been having a single part of this, has been pushing down the tier 1, now pressuring the tier 2 as well. But Liquid effectively using their heroes not really as heroes themselves, but more as like scare tactics, forcing VP out of the way. And VP, they know that the longer this game goes, the better chance they'll have. So they'll try to avoid the fights, and avoid the fights they have successfully done, but they're going to end up paying for that trade with 2 towers on the bottom lane. Now TC finally going to find some farm. That's a lot of time where TC was just sitting in Korok. That really made his gold per minute suffer. I mean, he got literally no gold out of that for, what, like 3 minutes? That's not what you want to have happen as the Lifestealer fluff and stuff. Going to run into Crazy. Fiend's Grip, will it happen? He's instantly going to get imprisoned. So the Fiend's Grip will not, in fact, happen. And there's really no support there. Anyway, Korok finding a regen rune is going to be playing around with that just a little bit. He's going to go straight for an Orchid. That could be a great tool in killing off the OD. Will not prevent the mech from popping off, but if you could jump in and assassinate a couple heroes with that Orchid, then Storm Spirit has pretty much done his job already. But I think the person that they really have to lock down is the PL, because he's not died yet. And again, Liquid don't have any good way of dealing with this. They don't have any AoE. They're not building any AoE. They're getting an armlet on TC, who's now revealed off by KSI. He's got to finish that Ursa, man, that Hell Bear. He will be successful in doing so, but yeah, Liquid really don't have any way of dealing with this PL. they have no ways, 0 ways at all. Illuminate not reliable at all, and TC now might be in a little bit of trouble even. Korok gonna get spotted out. LSA gonna completely miss, although if Korok kept running it would have hit. And everyone from Liquid gonna fall back. It looks like TC still farming. Wow, balls of steel on this Lifestealer, gotta say. And Liquid positioning themselves around the Roche pit. Looks like they do want to go for this one. It's gonna be very slow going. They don't really have too much. Actually, they have an Orchid. That's gonna help quite a bit actually. Chunk him down another 300 damage. With TC out of the fight, Bulba can be forced to tank this up, so this is going to be the mech used for this. Level 2 in the Inner Beast going to definitely help, and TC can get yanked in by IX Mike. So now the Lifestealer going to go to town on that Roshan. With that open wound, is going to give everyone a little bit more HP as they hit down this Roshan. So the Roshan is going to drop in VP, either unwilling or, well, they had one ward up. I think it probably spotted out TC. How much vision did this ward have anyway? No, definitely did not see TC getting yanked in. So, yeah, I think VP are unaware of that Liquid attempt on Roshan. I mean, knowing these heroes, unless you see a Beastmaster with a Medallion, you're not going to expect these guys to take down a Roshan. I mean, these heroes are not Roshan killers by any means. But Liquid, either way, do find a double life, and it's going to go on to Korok, so he can dive super aggressively as per Korok playstyle. So Liquid going to once again do the pressure thing, going to jump into the Storm Spirit, and now Liquid, they're looking for initiation, and they're going to find it too. Not on the mid lane, however, it's going to be on the top lane. I think the teleportation hasn't spotted out, but they're going to catch him anyway. Korok out of mana, get the pull! Oh man, burning so much mana for that, and now the fight's going to happen. Bulba going to get locked down immediately. He's going to drop to the OD. Fluff and stuff can get slowed down as well by the Demonic Purge, but he should be fine to make it out alive. Need another Sprout or something. Korok has returned to this fight, but he's very low on mana. Yanked in by IX Mike once again. But Liquid burning so much mana, burning so much time, and losing Bulba in the process. That's definitely not the fight that they wanted to take. If they got the Nature's Prophet, if they snagged KSI, that would have been worth it for them. But unfortunately, the Nature's Prophet a little bit too smart. They had vision. The VP side of them, had vision, but they might snipe off KSI after all, silencing him, and that's going to be the death of the Nature's Prophet. Korok finding that kill, instantly popping off that regen rune, so he's going to be able to fight once again if they spot out Crazy. They will in fact spot him out, but it looks like they're going to instead just fall right on back. So Liquid in the end do make the trade, a little bit more delayed than they would have liked, but hell, they did get the kill regardless. Nature's Prophet did buy the Mystic Staff though. I think if they got him up on this top lane, that would have been the Mystic Staff delayed, but hell, what could you do? What could you do? Illidan now going to try to go for a kill on Bulba, does have the Purge Stick. Will he use it? Fluff and Stuff going to come in for the mech. Once again, it's going to take them quite a long time to deal with these PL illusions. Korok with his AoE is, I think, the best bet for Liquid right now. Unless TC starts to build up into a Maelstrom, the PL illusions are just going to get stronger. They already do have the Diffusal, do have the Yasha, possibly going to go for the Manta style straight up. But once he gets a heart, I feel that is going to be like the no more fun allowed sign for the Liquid side, because they'll have nothing to deal with those illusions. If they keep snagging picks on KSI, that'll definitely help. It can translate into some items to help deal with those illusions. But they really got to go for that like soon and often. They really got to put on the pressure and make sure that they don't let up on the pressure. But the pressure that's being applied from Liquid is really off and on. They seem to be a little bit indecisive as to how aggressive they want to be in this game. I feel like if they're always grouped as 5, always looking to push down these towers, that'll be their best bet. But instead they're doing this. They're roaming around, they're farming extremely heavily, trying to apply pressure to the lanes, but the goal that they get isn't going to be used as effectively as that of VP, so really they have to be doing this. Pushing down the top lane. All 5 from Liquid are here, and Korok does have a Lifesteal inside, going to jump straight in. Who's he going to go for? Ars Art or NS? It's going to be one of them, and it's going to be NS. Mech is going to keep him alive for just a little bit more, but that was the grip, as well as the Roar onto Crazy. He's going to drop shortly after. It's 2 down for Liquid, and Illidan going to be spotted out by the Nightmare. He doesn't have any illusions. He's all alone. He's going to die as well. This is exactly how Liquid need to deal with this PL, by isolating him. Of course, good luck ever letting that happen, but Korok with the initiation does still have the Aegis, and Liquid now going to push the high ground. If they take Rakdos right now, that could be the game just straight up right for them. And KSI in this game as the Lina, but the tower going to take some pretty heavy damage. Phantom Lancer going to buy back into the game. And everyone from Liquid going to fall back. They do still have the Aegis, though. They don't have Roar, they don't have a Fiend's Grip, so they will have to fall back, but they take a good team fight. They take a tier 2 tower on top of that, and they might even turn around for this one. TC doesn't have an Infest, but Korok does have mana as well as an Aegis. He wants to do it, and they'll definitely catch Illidan off guard, but I feel like at this point you can't really dive into these illusions. It'll be suicide. So Liquid, they are in fact going to fall back. KSI has been pushing out the bottom lane, has found himself enough money for the Sheep Stick, so still the farm from VP is coming up, although if Liquid can continue to isolate and kill, like use the Roar, use the Fiend's Grip to make sure that the spells do not come out, and kill them off one at a time, that's how Liquid are going to be forced to play this game. Whether they like it or not, that's their best bet. If they could open up with smoke or something, that would be a good idea as well. But I guess with Korok on Storm Spirit, you don't really need smoke, because you can initiate from outside of the smoke dispel range, so really smoke won't be too big a difference. But you know, Korok, 4,000 gold, almost at the level 16 marks with Storm Spirit, going to be that much more dangerous as he initiates, as he gets in there that much quicker. This is going to help Liquid a lot as well. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4? 4 stacks of creeps. Again, there's no AoE to deal with this aside from the axes, so once again, this is the Phantom Lancer problem all over again. Just imagine all these ancient creeps, you know, attacking a lot faster and burning TC's mana right now. Because that's pretty much what's going to happen in the future. Man, I'm running out of water, guys. Why is my water cup always empty? First world problems. It's a lot of gold for TC, a lot of experience for Bulba. Gonna give TC 2,400 in total, 2,500 after this, actually 26, 27, wow. Look at the gold fly. So now Lifestealer, what is he gonna go for? Mjolnir, I feel, is the only real viable option right now. Unless they're gonna rely purely on their single target and trying to burst them down within the Storm Spirit's silence. It could be a possibility, but with OD imprisoned, Mech, Force Staff, the disruption from the Shadow Demon, you can't really afford to put all your eggs in that basket. You need some sort of contingency plan in case PL's illusions get out of control. And that really, Lifestealer is the best one at this point if he does go for that item to deal with it. Because the Axes, the Illuminate, can only do so much. I think the Illuminate still will be able to clear up the illusions, but Axe is only bringing them to half HP. And they're still multiplying. That is, of course, without any sort of HP item. Illidan, holding on to a lot of gold, can finish off his Manta Style if he wants to, but I think at this point it's better if he just goes for a heart. Should get a whole bunch of tanky mana burners. That'll be fine enough for them. Now Liquid, they're going to go for the bottom lane. It looks like going to run straight into a whole bunch of Treants, so no surprises here for the VP side. Everyone from Liquid is revealed, but Korok and TC still on the hunt. They're not going to find anyone, however. Arzart, the only one who's a little bit vulnerable. Everyone else is pretty much within the safety of their base. Although, top lane, they're going to get pulled in by IX Mike, and KSI is going to die. Global control, courtesy of Keeper of the Light. And it's going to be a free kill on KSI. Very high priority target for Liquid. KSI definitely didn't see that one coming. Hell, I didn't even see that one coming. And Liquid, wow, pushing out the bottom lane in air quotes. Wait, they already have a mech. Guys, Liquid, what you doing, Liquid? Either way, they get a kill on the KSI. They're going to push in now. They do still have a Roar. They do still have Fiend's Grip. So maybe we'll see a repeat of the last fight on this top lane. Bulba, TC, Korok on the front lines. Dragon Slave going to fly through, but it fails to draw the aggro. And now the tower going to start to take some pretty good damage. TC is there. Is going to go for an AC, actually. So I guess it's also an effective way of dealing with the PL. Just drain his armor, I guess. The tower does drop. Liquid with a decisive push, take a tier 3. And VP is there, Manta Style. There's actually a reverse, so PL is going for the my recommended items for him. And Fluff and Stuff still in the base. IX Mike doesn't have Spirit Form for another 17 seconds. This could be a very, very unfortunate anti-timing. Liquid have to fall back for 15 seconds, then push in a couple of waves. Damn it, Mike. Get yourself together. There we go. So yeah, they're going to fall back. They know that they don't have Fluff, but they dove in, they got the tier 3, and now the melee Raxes are in danger for VP. If Liquid could take a decisive fight, pick off 2 or 3 heroes, they could go for those Raxes. Again though, they're on a clock, and TC with the AC is going to make the pushing a little bit easier, so I guess it will be able to force a couple fights.
Haste.
But I think with the AC, that means he's not going to go for a Maelstrom. He could still go for a Battle Fury, would not be a bad idea. But really, Liquid, they're playing as though there is no PL on the other side. Like with the lineup they have, if they were up against a Luna carry, they would be fine. I mean, Lifestealer would just go to town on that Luna. But against a PL, they don't really have any tools effective tools to deal with them. I guess the long range roar would kind of work, but again, not with a disruption, not with an imprisonment as the defensive spells on the VP side. So I do feel that even though Liquid are still technically ahead, it's just VP that are just biding their time. They're letting Liquid get all these objectives because they're okay with that. As long as their PL is getting farmed, as long as their OD is getting farmed, then the late game is suddenly going to become late game, and then VP are going to crash all of that onto the heads of Liquid. And Liquid, they need to keep applying this pressure, especially onto Illidan. But already he doesn't have much gold to lose, so it really doesn't matter too much. They are going to spot him out. Bulba, open up with the roar. Open up with the roar. Gonna get the roar. He's now not going to get the roar. There's the dust, and he's going to get the roar. Illidan, though, is now trapped. Disruption immediately. They do have the imprison as well. Stretchy wards absolutely everywhere. Illidan's still taking a good amount of damage. Where's Korok going to jump right in, lose none of his mana because I don't know why, but either way, he's still in this fight. He's going to go straight for Arzar. Does have TC inside him. Going to burst right outside. Going to go for NS himself. The Fiend's Grip will be used to bring down the Shadow Demon. Korok's still going to go to town onto KSI, and that's going to be almost a complete team wipe. Illidan's still in this fight. Has a lot of illusions that are burning a lot of mana. But Bulba, Liquid are not done yet. Illidan is going to get stunned out. Is completely out of mana. He's got to be forced to fight his way out of here, and it's not going to happen. It's a complete team wipe in favor of Liquid and VP. I don't know why Korok did not lose any mana from that Sandy's Eclipse. I don't know why he doesn't have more intelligence, but he should have lost mana, right? I don't know. Either way, Liquid somehow take a fantastic team fight, isolating out the Phantom Lancer. I mean, that fight really shouldn't have happened. Korok getting right to the back end of that fight, sniping off the Lina, sniping off the OD, using Fiend's Grip on the Shadow Demon of all people. I would have normally said that would have been a mistake, but hell, it worked, so whatever. Now it's going to mean an Aegis once again for possibly Korok, possibly TC. Looks like it's going to be for Korok. AC is up in the Lifestealer. Looks like everyone's going to be dropping all their items because they have picked up a gem on TC. I still don't think that VP are. I still think that VP are in a decent position. I mean, they're just consistently getting farm on their late game carries, and Liquid still they have the Lifestealer, but they don't have any way of dealing with the Phantom Lancer. I might be giving PL a little bit too much credit in this game. But if Liquid can continue to isolate and kill the kind of like soft backside of VP, that is the Lina, that is the OD, the Nature Prophet as well. If they could find and isolate those heroes through the means of the Storm Spirit, then it really won't matter how much farm the PL has because he's going to be all alone. However, that's a pretty big if, right? I guess fighting in this tight area for VP wasn't exactly the best because Storm Spirit hit absolutely everyone with everything that he had to throw out. And those overload, yeah, that overload damage really started to stack up. It's going to now look for the mid lane potential, although KSI, oh, you got to be careful, KSI. That would have been a mistake. His farm is kind of halted, or at least slowed down. Korok really finding his farm accelerate. He's going for a Hex Stick of his own. BKB up on the Storm Spirit will really help him kill off this Lina with impunity. There's nothing that Lina can do once she has a Storm Spirit right on top of her, doing the damage with a BKB. It'll be impossible for her to get out of there. But VP, they're still getting their farm. They still have a heart on the in the works for the PL. Still have a lot of gold on this Nature Prophet as well. 2,400 on him. Possibly we could look for a, well, I mean, could go for anything. Maybe a Desolator. Maybe get some more right-click damage, or just go for straight-up utility. We'll see. We shall see. Korok does still have TC inside of him, looking for blood. Not going to find anyone. I don't really think he expected anyone to be in this area, because Roshan isn't up. I mean, he still has the friggin' Aegis, so Roshan clearly can't be up. But everyone from VP, they're playing a little bit cautiously. They know that they don't have the team fights 100% anymore. Liquid, with a 10 kill advantage, do have a sizable golden experience advantage as well. They do have momentum behind them on top of that. So if they can keep applying the pressure, they could, in fact, lead their way into a victory, especially with the Scythe of Vyse on the Keeper of the Light. Not really the hero I would expect to have that item. But But still, another lockdown means 4 PL. It's going to help kill off the main hero, but if you can't kill off the illusions, then killing off the main hero doesn't really mean too much. And now they're possibly going to go for a push. Top lane is going to be there. PL upgrading his Diffusal Blade. They're going to yank the duo in of Korok and TC. This global control, Korok and TC weren't exactly split pushing, but made sure that everyone from VP was out of their jungle. And now Liquid going to go for the ballsy play, push down the top lane in a 5v5 clash that could be incredibly risky. But they're going to breach it anyway. Bulba going to get the war immediately onto Arzar, but there's no follow-up. There's the follow-up, instantly disrupted, however. Korok going to get hexed as well. TC going to go straight for NS. They don't want to deal with disruption. They will take him out. Stormsphere is going to find that kill now. KSI going to get gripped. Clip's going to get dropped down, but that's about it. Where's the PL? He's going to kill off Ike's Mike in the back end. He's going to get himself enfeebled. Korok still killing off people. He's going to find himself a triple kill. It does still have mana. Going to try to go for Illidan. Is there a pull? Is there a hex? Is there any disable for this man? There is not. Sprout is going to hold TC up, but he's going to invest into Korok, get himself out of that Sprout. Liquid trade the Keeper of the Light in exchange for so many kills. Now the top lane is still in danger. Korok will let TC out of there. Going to instantly open up into Illidan. Going to purge off the open wounds immediately. Well played by the PL. Vrax is still in a little bit of trouble. TC going to try to do the damage. Just focus it down, but the fortification is there. Once again, disruption of the Lifestealer is going to die. Crazy going to get pulled in by Korok. Going to try to do enough damage before he does burn the Aegis, but he is going to burn the Aegis. Now there's no disable for the VP side. This is going to be Korok just going to zip away, although gonna hold it out just a little bit, possibly waiting for the Lina. Korok, just burn the mana. Just burn the mana. All your mana. Just get out of there as far as you can. There you go. Actually, Crazy is gonna try to go chase, but Korok is there with the damage to the Orchid as well. Korok burning a lot of mana in order to do that. Now he's out of mana. Now Korok's gonna die. You probably could have just kept running, man. If you just ran, you would have been fine, but now you're dead, so it's a lot of gold for OD. Gotta say, in Liquid, although they take at first what looked like a good team fight, they really let VP come back into that because they failed to really back up and focus the Raxes. Once they got into this area, then that was a little bit of overextension from Liquid. They should have just fallen back, taken the Raxes, and then gone home. They got a little bit too overexcited. It really ended up costing them that push. So now they have to deal with the stacked level 2 Diffusal Blade Phantom Lance, who's going to tear down this tier 2 tower. And Lifestealer got shredded up in an instant. If he could have that rage and do the damage during the duration of that rage, that'll be all well and good. But open wounds being purged off by PL. Very quick fingers, and I think like you normally would say Diffusal Blade is used to chase people or used to purge off something like really important. But open wounds for Lifestealer is the most important spell because the roar was off. The roar was not available. The Fiend's Grip was not available. So how is TC actually going to catch up to someone and keep on hitting them without the open wounds? It's not going to happen unless he buys an Eye of Scotty or a Basher or something. Those items not going to come up for a very long time. He's only at 1,000 gold. So VP, after taking that last fight, the gold earned, experience earned, is going to start to bend out of Liquid's favor. I still think pushing down the top lane is the best option for Liquid right now. I mean, they've shown that they could take a couple of picks right off the bat, using their cooldowns effectively with the Roar, with the Fiend's Grip. They just have to make sure they don't let VP get that space to actually revive or buy back or anything like that. Liquid, if they could get kills every time their ultimates are up, then they could slowly chip their way through these Raxes, but they're going to start to regenerate. And Liquid no longer have that Aegis. They're probably going to play it safe, wait for another 4 minutes, just farm up a little bit more, and try to get another double life onto Korok so we can initiate suicidally once again. TC needs a little bit more farm as well. Really, this Lifestealer rather fragile. I mean, you saw how fast he dropped once he started to get focused. Maybe a heart would be great for him, although you know they're going to have their Raxes, their own tier 3 towers pushed in because of that PL. Illuminate going to fly through. Lots of gold for Ike's Mike, actually. 1,400. What is he going to go for? I don't know what would be the best choice in the situation for a Keeper of the Light who has all the money in the world. Possibly Boots of Travel would be a good investment. Boom. Horse is going to miss everything. But Liquid just going to play a little bit cautiously. Try to tend to their lanes. Pipe, Mech, and Aghanim Scepter up on this Beastmaster. Quite a lot of gold on him. He's doing quite well for himself, all things considered. Really just has to make sure that his Mech and Pipe land on multiple Liquid heroes. Then Beastmaster's got to stay alive for as long as he can. Try to get that aura to the Lifestealer. The longer he stays alive, the more damage the Lifestealer is going to put out. The Roshan up in 3 minutes. And Liquid, yeah, they're not looking for anything except for that Roshan. They're just finding as much gold as they can, tending to the lanes. Korok possibly acting as a little bit of bait. If he could get VP to jump on him, he'll have TC inside for a nasty surprise. Korok going to burn a lot of his mana, going to look for KSI. Will not find him unless he hexes him. The hex is not in time. KSI going to try to teleport out of here. Hex, 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 hex. Oh, it's just barely not enough time. And Korok burning all of his mana for that will find nothing as KSI teleports away successfully. And if Korok was out of there for just a single split second, that would have been the death of the Nature's Prophet. Going to burn through those illusions. And then possibly back to pressuring the top lane. Roshan up in 2. Oh, it's actually going to be a Ghost Scepter for Ix Mike. Going to continue to rely on those TP scrolls, fair enough. And a Basher up on Lifestealer, or eventually up. There you go, Skull Basher recipe on him. So top lane is going to be the choice for Liquid. Basher actually completed by the TC. And Liquid going to fall back. So yeah, they're just grouping up and kind of forcing VP back onto this top lane just by pretending they themselves want to go over that top lane. But Roshan is going to be the true objective for Liquid right now. No real hiding that, I think. If I know it, then VP definitely know it. If they have the timer, which they should, and they'll know that Roshan is up in another minute. And at that point, I'm really not too sure who that'll favor. I mean, it'll make it easy for Korok to get to the back lines and kill off the supports. But at the same time, Sandy's Eclipse will be dropped. OD, though, not with too much intelligence. I mean, he's gone for Force Staff and Mech, and just going for that Mech right off the bat will make you a little bit harder to kill. But he's reliant a lot on his base values of really reliant on Astral Imprisonment early on to get those kills. But right now, he doesn't really have too much intelligence. 75 plus 35 versus the 69 plus 76. Intelligence is there for the Storm Spirit. And really, it's not there, not at least enough for OD in order to deliver a devastating blow with his OD ult. Even Keeper of the Light has, what, 90? He's 100 int. He has like pretty much almost as much intelligence as the OD. That's just wrong on so many levels. Roshan now going to be spotted out by an entire army of Treants that will gladly give their lives, and Liquid going to try to draw a VP in, but they're going to turn around and go aggressive instead. Do they have a gem? TC, I believe, does have one. Yes, he does. That means Korok has one as well, at least for the time being. They're going to consider jumping in. When's going to happen? There it is. Huge jump. They're going to go straight for NS. This is going to be a dead NS, although he does get in prison. Alexander Fluff can hold him out as well. Going to take a Wind Blade straight to the face. He's going to Nightmare Lina in the back end. Korok going to try to go for KSI in the meantime. Huge Eclipse on Crazy, but that's mostly a desperation move. Trying to get that out before he dies. Storm Spirit is going to go for anyone else. Does not have any more mana. And TC still on the chase for Illidan. Will try to go for a bash. Will find one. The illusions, though, working him down. Another bash will happen. Korok, does he have a pull? Illidan is going to do so much damage with the illusions, but really TC just bashing him down every single time. And once again, the PL did not have any support. OD was the target of focus, was dropped so very quickly in that fight. Really effective disabling from Fluff, tanking everything that Lina had, and then getting rid of her as the problem with that Nightmare. And VP, don't know what's really going on with them. Huge zip in from Korok, going to find Arzart as well. So much mana regeneration on the Storm Spirit. Going to go for the Roshan straight after. 12 to 26. The gold advantage that VP of trying to build up for a comeback starting to fall away from them as Liquid take once again a huge advantage in this game. This is going to be the third Roshan. It's going to be Aegis for Korok, Cheese for Bulba. Wait, is that... Did he sell his... He dropped an energy booster. I'm pretty sure I saw that. Travels? Travels? Travels. There you go. Okay, fair enough. Okay, Liquid. Can you take a Rax right now? Because it's 45 minutes in, and the enemy still does have a PL. PL not as stacked as I really would expect right now. I mean, a 45-minute in PL would normally be like 6 slotted and be killing everything. And a Lifestealer would normally not be able to shrug off the attacks in the PL that easily. Instead, it's going to be a tier 2 tower at first. They're going to put Bulba on the top lane just to put a little bit of pressure onto that top lane before he gets yanked back. The tower is going to drop very, very quickly as well. The additional attack speed really helping out. Illidan might be in a little trouble. They're going to zip right in. Illidan a little bit out of position. Will get imprisoned. LSA onto 2 as well. Roar going to fly out onto Arzart. Will they be able to bring him down? No, they won't. The disruption is there, but that means there's no more disruption for Korok, who doesn't have a BKB, but does have the Aegis, as well as the Cheese, actually. Bulba, as well as TC, still in this back end. And KSI going to get gripped and will be brought down. Korok, in the meantime, will also die, but he does have an Aegis. He's going to zip out right away. LSA going to miss on top of that. Korok going to get Demonic Purge, but it's going to be okay. TC now can return straight back to this fight, or at least go for the Raxes, go for the tier 3s, try to get that to happen. Another LSA going to fly, not hit onto anyone in prison. Once again onto Korok. The intelligence starting to stack up on the OD. Will have his ultimate in 10 seconds, but the tower is now in a little bit of danger. Arzart going to throw spell after spell after spell. Fluff and Stuff going to get a little bit of mana's burn, trying to deal with these Phantom Lancer illusions. There's a zip in from the Storm Spirit, can instantly bring down the Lina. Going to try to go for Illidan as well. He's hexed up. Is he going to get bashed down? He's out of mana, so he can't doppel walk this. Roar as well. Illidan's going to get locked down. Disruption's going to help him for a little bit, but I don't think it's going to save him completely. It's not going to. Korok also taking out the SD. TC on the run from the orbs. Will Armlet toggle his way to safety. Ix Mike on the run. He should be fine as well, although Crazy going to try to get his way in. Not going to be in time. Korok still farming enemy heroes on this bottom area. And it's going to be 4 down from VP. They're going to lose their mid-Raxes. Liquid fighting such a superb team fight, kind of ignoring the PL illusions and just going straight for the heart of the PL, which is the main hero. And these PL illusions really not doing enough versus the Liquid side. The auras really helping them out, and that's going to be mid-Raxes. It's going to be top Raxes. I don't know how they've done it, but Liquid have managed to out-carry a Phantom Lancer in the late game somehow. I have not a clue. They're going to only take 1 set of Raxes. Actually, no, they're going to get a second. Bulba with one last kick and take that one out. He will lose his life, but, you know, for the Raxes, it's totally worth it. There he goes. So Liquid push in, take 1.5 sets of Raxes. They do get out with Korok and TC, both very much so alive. And this Storm Spirit, played by Korok, has been playing absolutely out of his mind. A superb display of Storm Spirit, showing exactly what you got to do. Get to the back end, nail out the Lina, nail out this Shadow Demon, take out the supports from underneath the PL. And Liquid, with the Ghost Scepters, with the Mech and Pipe, really affording to take a couple more hits on the PL, where normally the Keeper of the Light would instantly die. Now he does have the Scythe of Eye, so the damage not really going to be as intense coming out from the PL. Combine that with the Ghost Scepter on the Keeper of the Light, and he's going to stay safe. And if the more he could take hits and then pop up the Ghost Scepter to prevent him from actually being killed, that means that PL is wasting a lot of time going for a target that's not entirely viable. Same exact thing for Fluff. If you get tank damage from the PL all day long, and then pop the Ghost Scepter, then he's going to be completely safe. Liquid looking like they might actually take this game away from VP. Despite a really rocky start, the team fight from the Storm Spirit initiation has been absolutely impeccable. And VP, although they do have the imprisonment as well as the disruption to keep single targets safe, really Liquid they have enough momentum to actually ignore the fact that those heroes got disrupted. Like, so what? Your Lina got disrupted? We'll just move right behind the Lina because we know that she'll be taken care of later once she pops out of there. And ordinarily, if you disrupt a high priority target, like if your PL's getting attacked, you disrupt him, and you're fine, because he'll pop out and then do the damage. By the time he pops out, your entire team is dead. So yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on with that. Possibly a little bit too much of the Astral Imprisonment disruption action, making a couple too many heroes invulnerable for a little bit too long. I don't know. Just not sure. I mean, they're definitely a little bit stun light, as they only do have the Lina LSA in order to actually deliver an effective stun. Everything else is set up that you can't attack them when that's happening. So there's that, which means that Korok is having such an easy time getting in those fights and really just staying immune to everything while he's zipping around. No silences coming out from the VP side, no nothing to lock him down except for a couple of Hex Sticks. But still, with that sheep stick on him, he's gonna jump right in. Who's he gonna go for? Anyone he could find, truly. Gonna go for Crazy. There's TC, instantly gonna get disrupted, but they're instead gonna go right for NS. It's okay. They don't have to go for Crazy. They'll go for the Shadow Demon. Now, Fiend's Grip onto KSI. That's gonna be him dead as well. Korok looks like he's gonna trade his life for that. Fluff and Stuff gonna get a Nightmare onto the Phantom Lancer. The Eclipse will bring down Fluff very low, but will not kill him off finally. TC opening with the rage once again onto Crazy, gonna bash him down. Illidan gonna try to fight his way out of this. Mana Leak is there, and he's getting bashed down slowly but surely. He's on the run with the Enfeeble on him. He will die in the end. Arzart trying to get a final kill on the Fluff. Nightmare to save himself from the Dragon Slave, but he will die to the PL Illusions. Now the PL Illusions are back with a vengeance, doing some pretty heavy work versus Korok, but he's out of mana, so he's not taking that additional damage. Ix Mike gonna burn the Ghost Scepter. And that's going to be it for the Illusions. The Illusions doing so much damage with Liquid. They're just doing a little bit too much damage. They're picking off heroes, cutting off the damage output from VP one hero at a time. And Liquid, 51 minutes into the game. This could be a death push from them. Korok's still not alive, though. And I need more water. Alright, so Liquid pretty far ahead in this game after taking those racks. It's 12,000. Wow, more than 25,000 in experience. That's pretty absurd. And really, I think it's Korok setting the tempo of this pace that's doing it for Liquid. I mean, of course, all the support is there. Good Fiend's Grip and good Roar choices by the supports from Liquid, locking down the heroes that really would pose a large threat to TC and Korok's devastating Rampage spree. And TC finding himself at 6,700 gold, 68, 69. I think he has enough gold to buy whatever he wants and still has buyback. You go for an Abyssal Blade, and then Hyperstone, and probably still have enough for buyback. Actually, probably not. That might be a little bit too much. But it's going to be... no. Well, MKB. There's a Butterfly coming up in the PL, and TC is okay with not having that Abyssal Blade. Fair enough. Still saving enough for buyback. Gotta have that buyback against the PL. Really, Illidan not finding too much wrong. I mean, he still does not have a Manta style. Really, this PL not getting... even though he has the most gold per minute, I feel like he's just not using it as effectively. Like, somehow Liquid are getting more mileage out of their spells, out of their gold than Illidan is. And that's just wrong on so many levels. Like, PL is PL. He's cancer. He needs to be treated with chemo. And he should not be... I feel like he's just not doing enough. He's... normally, Phantom Blades 53 minutes in the game will be 6 slotted. But this guy has... you know, Yasha, incomplete item. Oh wait, they're still dying. TC, as well as Korok, going to open up onto the Nature Prophet, immediately going to get pulled onto NS. He's going to drop shortly after as well. TC is going to get Hex, but Aurora going to fly through onto Crazy. He's going to drop as well as NS. They want more. They're going to go for Arzark. Grip being used for the Lina. Another 4 down as Liquid take a devastating team fight. Yeah, but normally PLs would be 6 slotted. But let's take a look at how many slots that PL is not using fully. Ring of Aquila. Sell that, get something big. Butterfly, Manta style. It's 3 items that 53 minutes of the game should be completed, but they just aren't. I don't know why, but it's definitely happening right now. And wow, Liquid, Balls of Steel gonna go through the backdoor protection, really? Gotta deal with this PL, and Korok gonna try to force him into the base. Bring down the Illusions. Look how long it's taking them to bring down the Illusions. It's really a pain. They're gonna use Hex Stick. Was that Hex for that? I don't know if it was, but the fortification will slow them down. Pipe is up, not really going to be doing too much. The creeps are now in the base, so there's no more backdoor protection. Shadow Demon, PL, both are alive. Nightmare immediately onto the real PL. Teleportation coming in from Bulba, going to circle around for the Roar onto NS. Axe is going to fly through, but Illidan going to get pulled back, dropping so very low, so very quickly. And without buyback on the PL, that's going to be GG. I think we're going to tear their way through the final racks as TC eating Laguna Blades like a champ. And Liquid turned this game around. 54 minutes, 17 to 42, and the score seems like it was an absolute stomp, but that's definitely not what was happening. I don't know how Fluff and Stuff just popped off that BKB right now, but either way, that's going to be it. Liquid tied up 1-1, so we'll be moving on to game number 3 to decide who's going to move on, who's going to go home. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, like, comment, subscribe. If you didn't, let me know why. Other than that, GG.